This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map BattleBase Beta. And in the south left corner, as the Cyan Empire, we do indeed have from Team H2O, it is Kiro. In the top right side, as the Yellow Soviets, he's kind of an up-and-comer, he is Dimon. Or Dimon, I don't know. I would suspect Dimon, but it could potentially be something else. Now, Bear's going to be leading the charge as is per usual, but can the dojos from Kiro actually get the crushes off? Yes, he can. That's a great victory for Kiro because those Bears have done basically nothing, and through their death, this dojo core is pretty much already worth it. However, at the same time, of course, this flak troop will be the first unit inside of that civvy structure. But Kiro, he's got the dual dojo. He's got 4 dojos out on the map, so it's a quad dojo opening, and he's going to be walling up those refineries. And actually, all right, so immediately drops down the sentry gun. That's a very fast sentry gun into reactor. Dimon is going to be getting completely scouted here by Kiro, so Kiro going to be opening up really quite nicely. He gets the kills on the Bears, completely denies any scouting of his opponent, which, I mean, really, you don't expect crazy things from Empire, but maybe you're playing someone who's just insane and they like do Mecha Bay MCV sell all in or something. And, well, any cost efficiency that Kiro had before this point, of course, is just completely negated by how many Imperial Warriors he just traded. Barracks going to be coming in, and the Bears are going to be waiting for the dojo to get cleaned up. I would have kind of liked to see the dojo just deploy over there and just sit there. Oh, immediately into airfield, so I wonder if he's going to go War Factory immediately after this. A lot of times, if it's like Twin Frog immediately, you'll see War Factory, then Super Reactor, then Airfield. It does delay the Airfield and the Twin Blades really quite heavily, but it allows you to get those Bullfrogs out a little bit sooner. Both oil derricks have been capped, and okay, so Kiro, he is a brave fellow. He's very fortunate. I wonder if he didn't wall off purely because he saw there's no War Factory. He got the scout off immediately. He kind of got a reconfirmation scout with the dojo core as it came in. And Kiro going to be splitting up his Imperial Warriors pretty nicely. Will be able to eliminate all of the Bears. It looks like he loses all 3 of the Imperial Warriors, but that's okay. I mean, losing the Imperial Warriors isn't the hugest deal when you're cleaning up all of the Bears. Again, the fast naval or amphibious scouting units from Kiro, eliminating the fast amphibious scouting units from Dimon is pretty alright for Kiro. Kiro also splitting up a lot of Imperial Warriors around the map, which I do indeed love. He's going to be scouting, oh yes, it is Twin Blades pretty much immediately. Gets the kill on the Flak Trooper as well, which almost makes that dojo simply worth it, and the extra Imperial Warriors he's produced pretty much almost makes it worth it. At the same time, I kind of wonder if Kiro stopped walling up his refineries because he saw that there was no War Factory. He knows that there's not going to be any terror drones out relatively soon. He knows that he's safe from that. Kind of curious that he went for the naval expansion just because of how popular terror drones can be, and also the fact that he already knows Twin Blades are out on the map. So it's like he knows there's definitely going to be units harassing over here, or most likely going to be units harassing over here. And this Twin Blade is going to be forcing the Collector off the line. Might actually get the kill on the Collector, which at that point, if he gets the kill on the Collector, he's going to be happy with this, even if he does lose the Twin Blade, which he may be able to just pull that Twin Blade back before the VX actually gets the kill on it. Yeah, he actually will get the kill on that Harvester, so that Twin Blade has paid for itself at this point. He delayed that mining just a little bit there. As you can see, Kiro immediately, he has the rebuild of that Collector, so he didn't actually lose too much mining time, but he did lose a little bit. Immediately into the tier 2 for Kiro, so he's going to be going for that, and Kiro could actually be attacking that oil derrick, but he's not going to be, just not quite yet. Very close to actually getting eliminated there, that Twin Blade nearly losing its life. However, Dimon going to be setting up his refinery on that 4th base, or 4th refinery location. 3rd refinery location, rather, could be going for a 4th up here on the high ground, is what I meant to say. However, oh my gosh, he's not actually going to get the kill on that oil derrick because that one conscript gets ejected from the building, throwing those Molotov cocktails. MiGs all around this map. Dimon just staying pretty active with his MiGs, not letting them sit around. He's got units going pretty much everywhere on this map. Twin Blade going to be eliminating that Imperial Warrior just to make sure that he does not escape. And Dimon kind of, the follow-up, the mid-game here is pretty solid from Dimon. He's getting nice you know, nice amount of harassment done. Not a crazy game-ending amount of harassment, but he's getting a fair amount of harassment done. He's poking and prodding, winning where he can. He's staying active with his air units, which are all very good things. He's clearing out the middle of the map. He may just scout over here just to see, like, have you taken this refinery over here? Are you going for a 4-base Empire play, or are you just going to be sitting on that 3 refinery for now? And all of the Imperial Warriors get cleaned up just to make sure that none of those units are going to be getting called into the future to do some damage. One MiG does get eliminated, I think. No, it's actually a Twin Blade. However, one Tengu did get cleaned up there, and Kiro going to be putting on a bit of pressure himself. Now, of course, this War Factory did get delayed, so the initial Twin Frog that I thought we were going to be seeing does not happen. And, you know, instead, he's just going to be going for the MiGs, which are a bit more expensive, but they've also got the ability to fly, which makes them a little bit more agile, a little bit more versatile. And Dimon is now up to that 4 refineries. He's got the tier 2. He's got hammer tanks rolling now, and he hasn't taken a lot of damage from Kiro. Kiro hasn't really been able to... Oh, throw it away. That hammer tank is maybe not what you want to do. Although trading 4 Tengus... Was that 2 MiGs? If he traded 4 Tengus for 2 MiGs, then that's a great trade for Dimon, but I'm not sure if there was a 3rd MiG that went down that I didn't see. However, it looks like 2 hammer tanks ended up going down, which is unfortunate for Dimon. He needs to make sure that he's keeping his army alive, because once the tsunami tanks start rolling, tsunami tanks with good control can take down hammer tanks if you're microing correctly. And of course, if you get superior numbers, then it kind of just becomes a numbers game. Hammer tanks do have more HP. Tsunami tanks, technically, I think, do more damage, but in like a 1v1, I think hammer tanks win. But again, if you got pretty good control and you're actually slapping those F keys, microing your tsunami tanks, then I'm pretty sure the tsunami tanks win, like, every time. I'm not 100% sure, because now I'm kind of thinking about it, and it's like, it's kind of been a while since I've seen those hammer tank versus tsunami fights, so I'm not actually sure who would win in a 1v1. Tengu's going for the harass, which, oh, Kiro, no, he pulls back everything, so he's worried about whatever's going on over here. His MiGs are going to be getting the harassment. Oh, actually, that's like the perfect transform there, and actually the Tengu's going to be getting the kill potentially on one of these bullfrogs, and actually this is working out really well here for Kiro. Maybe not really well, as he loses both of the Striker VXs. The second one does go down there, but it's a trade. Striker VXs for the bullfrogs, and these Tengus are going to be on transform cooldown pretty soon here. 2 Twin Blades do go down. The MiGs can get focused down. There's just too many point defense droned Tengus here on the front lines for Kiro to actually be dealt with by that small amount of MiGs. Gets the kill on another Twin Blade. Kiro doing a great job of cleaning basically everything up. Might actually be able to go for the harass out on the water, which is what I would recommend, not going for the harass on the land. However, he does have these 3 I almost called them tsunami tanks, but they're actually, what are they even? Yari mini subs. Couldn't actually remember the name there. And a Tesla coil getting established, which, of course, unlike the sentry gun, he can't just sit over here and clean up that refinery. He will, of course, have to just deal with the tsunami, not with the Tesla coil, rather, before actually any of that. Now, that Defender VX can't actually deal with the Terror Drone. Of course, it's in that anti-air mode, which means that even if he had a good angle, he wouldn't be able to deal with it. Or Collector taking a bit of damage there from the Badger bombers, dropping those toxins down. A little bit unfortunate there for our Empire player. Kiro will be forced to pull that Collector off the line. So some minor harassment coming out from Dimon. And actually, this Tesla coil could be getting focused down depending on what Kiro wants to do. No, it comes back online just in time. Dimon finally gets enough power and juice to his stuff. Oh my gosh, did he just block that with a naval yard? He might have just blocked that with a naval yard. He did indeed. He dropped down that naval yard, saves the refinery from taking massive amounts of damage from those Yari mini-subs, and now, I mean, really, if he wants to clean up this expansion, he's gonna need Striker VXs, and he needs to make sure that the bullfrogs are not over there at that expansion dealing with it. At the same time, Dimon going to be establishing a right side expansion, getting that 5th refinery up and running. I love how he hasn't expanded here, which is a little bit more common for a player on the top side of the map, but it does get scouted pretty much immediately. The Tesla coil is finished now, which means these Tengus can't do anything about it. Dimon going to be bunkering up a little bit hard with the static D, which is absolutely great for him. Could go ahead and cancel off that naval yard, as he doesn't really need it just yet. He may end up finishing it a little bit later. But the crane is actually over here. I did miss that. And yeah, he's bunkering up pretty hard with static D, which means easy harassment is not going to be happening for Kiro. He just simply will not be able to do it. However, he does have a pretty decent amount of tsunami tanks. Now, of course, with good tank buster micro, we can see them do a fair amount of damage, but will we see equally good Terror Drone micro to lock down lots of units almost at the same time, as we've seen some top-level Red Alert 3 players just lock down so many units in sequence with Terror Drones that it's pretty hilarious when you see it, just in sheer number of units that they can lock down. Yari mini-subs, again, they are a potential to go ahead and harass this refiner, but you're going to be trading Yari mini-subs pretty much straight across, because if you try to go for the Tesla coil, look at that, he didn't even get it because he wasn't quite on top of the control there. He just loses the Yari mini-sub, and alright, so that was really close. It was just like both armies pull up, one of them sneezes at the other one, and then they both back away a little bit there. Even going to be blocking off. Oh my gosh, Dimon is just doing such a good job of keeping this expansion alive for pretty much very little cost. I mean, of course, the establishment cost of dropping down the Tesla coil is pretty hefty. He's got like the 1,500 credits or whatever right there. But then after that, he's just been able to defend it. He can cancel the buildings. He gets the refund, not a huge deal. And now, finally walling up this expansion. But Kiro, he's going to be back on 3 refineries pretty soon here, and the cashback will actually be happening for Dimon. He's trying to get on top of the wall segments to make sure that to make sure Kiro can't actually reestablish them. But he's actually going to be pulling back. A lot of these tsunami tanks could be getting caught up in this Badger Bomber, which the Desolator Airstrike, rather, going to be dropping the toxins. Actually going to be working against Dimon to zone out his own units, which is a bit unfortunate. There are the Flak Troopers getting eliminated. The Bears not getting the roars off that they need. Those amplified roars are not locking down any of these units. He didn't even fire any of them off. And really, this could be a start of a base trade scenario for these players. The walls blocking once again Dimon, and as you can see, he's actually controlling somewhere else out on the field. As you can see, he's just like clicking once or twice, and then he's getting distracted by moving his units somewhere else on the map. But Dimon is going to be able to sandwich this army. He may just need to commit to this attack here. That hammer tank will actually be able to escape off the front lines. Needs to just sacrifice it, go for the tank busters, get the crushers off. Oh, Bullfrogs, what are you actually doing out here on the front lines? You need to be pulled back behind the tanks. A little bit of control of that miss micro there from Dimon. However, Kiro is now going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. The amplified roar locks down all of those tank busters. Pretty much none of them are going to be active in this battle, which means the hammer tanks are now on top of absolutely everything. They can go for the crushes. The Tesla Troopers also going to be getting the nice shots off there, eliminate pretty much everything. However, a fair number of hammer tanks actually got cleaned up there, man. That honorable discharge, you got to be so careful for it when you're on top of those units, killing them. You're like, yeah, I'm killing all your stuff, and then the Empire player's like, lol, you just lost half your tanks anyways. And I mean, I lost my tanks as well, but I was able to take a lot of your stuff down with it. Now, Dimon can, of course, trade inefficiently. He is at that wonderful, wonderful economic advantage over Kiro. Kiro, again, he cannot go for the easy harass anywhere. He can hardly even harass this right side location in the south. He can barely do anything, because if he tries to fly Tengus over there, they're just going to be taking damage. And look at that, Kiro losing another couple of Striker V Axis choppers, rather, and even these MiGs are going to be getting some nice shots off on, well, I guess that Bullfrog is going to be sacrificing itself, or almost nearly there. As Kiro's trying to escape for a second there, I thought maybe he was going to be getting sandwiched between the MiGs and some hammer tanks from the production. But it's not meant to be. Now, oh my, wow, Eureka Omega didn't actually get taken out there. What? Immediately just cleans up everything. Holy cow, Kiro is actually doing this as he eliminates one entire expansion just immediately there so quickly. Not even the engineer escapes away. And suddenly, Kiro, he went for Eureka, which can be a bit of a dicey situation because it's expensive to get a barracks up to that tier 3 and then produce the Eureka on top of that. I mean, if you lose a tier 3 barracks, that's a pretty hefty investment that you have to make to get it back up to that status. But once you get Eureka out, it can be so good to have her out on the field. Of course, if your opponent has gone for lots of infantry, which, I mean, let's be honest, Soviet players don't really do lots of infantry very often, then you can deal with it with that psychokinetic burst, is I think that what that's called. Now, there's a couple of different solutions to dealing with Eureka. You can, of course, try to bait out that psychokinetic burst with some bears and then go in to finish her off, or you can go dual airfield a million twin blades and just hope that that works. Now, the refinery is gone, but Dimon is still on those 4 refineries. The MCV is gone, rather. I mean, the refinery is gone as well. Don't get me wrong. That refinery is dead, but he's still on that 4 refinery play, which is all right. Now, Kiro did the damage that he needed. He pretty much justified the purchase of that Eureka Omega. He's still got her active on the map. She's heroic, which means, of course, any damage she takes, if it doesn't kill her off, means that she can regen that health really quite easily. Dimon going to be backing off, which is probably a good idea. He needs to make sure that he engages at a proper angle. And actually, some of these Wave Force artillery is getting focused down by the leech beams. We've seen in a previous game, actually pretty recent, where AIOP got so many Wave Force hammer tanks over the course of a game. I mean, at one point, I think he had like 2 heroic Wave Force hammer tanks active at the same time, and that's just absolutely crazy. Although, so do not be fooled by the yellow dot on the minimap. That is indeed a sudden transport over there, and actually this entire base could be forfeit. Check this out. Everything is gone. 1 twin blade is not going to be enough, and goodbye super reactor is likely what we're going to be seeing. Immediately goes for the super reactor. It's not enough to kill off Eureka Omega. It is enough to finish off that crane. Go for either the airfield or those refineries. Either one. Eureka Omega, I'm thinking, maybe got controlled with that army. A little bit unfortunate there. The Terror Drones are not doing what they need. These King Onis are just running rampant. And even on top of that, all of these Tesla Troopers just getting eliminated. Kiro has made it happen. Look at this. Eureka Omega trashing everything in the main base. Kiro is smashing through the defenses of Dimon, and Dimon is absolutely on the run. On top of that, King Onis, all of them pretty much surviving so easily. Now, Eureka Omega has been cleaned up, which means Dimon, if he handles this attack really, really well, like eliminating all of these King Onis with stuff like Wave Force hammer tanks, he stands a chance. But can his Twin Blades actually deal with this number of Striker VXs? We will have to see. The answer is most likely no, as we see the King Onis just going to be trashing this last remaining refinery. Other than this one up in the north, Dimon has been defeated. He's up against the ropes ever since Eureka was introduced to the game. And Kiro makes the comeback happen. Good for him. Going to be bringing things back. Some nice control from Kiro throughout this game. And actually, Dimon playing pretty well also, which is good for him. But we'll have to see if he can do a little bit better in the future. And can he actually take some games off of some more well-known Red Alert 3 players? Overall, relatively even, economically speaking. 1,500 credits over the course of 17 minutes isn't a huge deal. Now it is... Okay, so actually, Dimon was actually climbing quite a bit ahead in the end, but a lot of Soviet units are a bit more expensive than Empire units. Of course, once you start introducing King Onis and Wave Force artillery versus Tier 2 Soviets, you can't really make that argument anymore because those units from Tier 3 Empire are quite expensive. But that will be doing it for this game. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.